This video was sponsored by Crimson Manifesto and Knuckles OX. Angel and Serpent, Demon and Beast, Avenger and Death God. What if Hinata was on Team 7, Part 6, Act 2? Recognizing this as neither a rival nor proctor, the pair of dojutsu wielders quickly get on their guard, with Sasuke lunging in with his reforged chakra blade, while Hinata attempts diplomacy. As for Naruto, he simply keeps trying to hit the big snake with his calamity palm, though to no avail, as it easily weaves out of the way of each attack before retaliating with a tail swipe that sends the dead lad's demon crashing through several trees. Sasuke's duel is equally as unsuccessful, as even at 1/3 of his true power, Orochimaru still far outscales this brat, knocking back each attack and surveying him with those sinister yellow eyes. Only Hinata is having any type of success, as her Orochimaru clone is more than happy to talk like she likes, explaining that while he is here for Sasuke, he's been looking forward to meeting Hinata and Naruto as well, having heard much more about their so far infamous careers from his spies. This deeply troubles the Lavender-Eyed Angel, who demands to know what the Sannin wants with Sasuke, but this just makes Orochimaru titter that it's not what he wants with Sasuke, but rather from him. Back with Naruto, he is in deep trouble, as having deemed the Nine-Tails vessel is not up to the standard he expected. Orochimaru in snake form still has decided to simply finish him off and destabilize Konoha through the loss of their soul Jinchuriki. To this end, he has gone on the attack, snapping at Naruto with his long fangs. And despite the boy's best efforts, one does manage to pierce his form. However, this only makes the demonic brat cheer that he finally got him to sit still, as he begins to flood the serpent's maw with clones. They use the calamity palm to rot the beast from the inside out. Though seeing as this is just a transformation that the decaying damage can easily be healed from, Orochimaru then proceeds to reform from the serpent's tongue, forming a ram sealed to pump thick venom through the incision, causing Naruto to groan in pain and fall backwards. Seeing no need to stick around, as the venom will kill the brat before any help can come, the clone dissipates, leaving Naruto alone. Though his healing factor has already healed the bite wound, the same cannot be said for the poison, as its necrotic effects allow it to turn each cell it kills into further poison faster than it can be expunged. And so it seems as though this is the end for the gutsy knucklehead. That is, until a deep rumbling voice in his head speaks out, laughing that the boy has finally bit off more than he can chew. At first, Naruto assumes he must be delirious from the poison, but after a few more barbed comments, the voice manages to convince Naruto that it is real, and more importantly, that it is the Nine-Tails offering him a way to save his life. Admittedly, this is motivated by self-preservation, as the fox knows Naruto's death will mean his own, but he chooses not to reveal this, instead offering Naruto greater access to his chakra for prolonged periods, in exchange for the ability to just hear and see through Naruto as well as speak to him in a more easy way than this. He'd even stop interfering with that feeble healing technique he's been trying to perfect, though personally, he couldn't understand from one demon to another why he would want to do so, causing him to demand silence when Naruto points out the hypocrisy in his currently being healed by a demon. Though dubious, Naruto knows that he has no other choice, and so with a kernel of reluctance, accepts. But as he extends his hand as if to shake on the deal, the beast chortles that he'd likely tear the boy to shreds than shake hands with him, so best to keep that grubby paw to himself. This Naruto takes as a challenge, barking that he's only trying to be cordial with the fuzzball, and besides, he could probably beat him to a pulp right now and make him his underling should he so choose. The Nine-Tails grins deviously at this offer, as if he intends to make good on it sooner rather than later, but as they are currently losing time, simply concludes a change of his cage will suffice to seal their deal for now, revealing to Naruto that this place can be whatever he desires, as it is his mindscape. Picking his feet out of the yellow pool of liquid surrounding the cage, Naruto sighs in relief that it means it isn't what he thinks it is, before he clenches his eyes hard, and only opens them when the stale holding cell suddenly has a familiar breeze. Opening his eyes, he sees that Kurama is now amongst a facsimile of the Leaf Village, which the great beast roars happily at, as he is able to smash and destroy at his leisure once again, only for everything to near instantly reform, and for an invisible barrier restricting his movement past the village center to make itself known, as he spots the seal now perched atop the Hokage monument, overlooking him where Naruto now stands, impatiently asking if this is good enough. Huffing that it shall suffice, as he honestly has to hide his happiness with how gullible this brutish meathead is, Kurama says that it is, snapping his claws and flinging Naruto back to the waking world. At once, he feels more fiendish chakra than ever course through him as the poison is burned away, being replaced with newfound stamina. Wasting no time with thanking the beast, Naruto instead scrambles to his feet, desperately wanting to find his teammates in case they've been bitten as well. As for Sasuke, he is in a similarly poor position to Naruto, as while fighting Orochimaru in his human form, he is also bitten. However, the poison he receives is of a very different sort, as Orochimaru is attempting to grant him a curse mark in order to induce him in serving him and becoming his next host. Unfortunately, with this Sasuke being stronger and more wily with his chakra saber than in canon, Orochimaru feels compelled to go at it a little harder, injecting Sasuke with more chakra and failing to take into account his juvenile body and his excitement, and in this process, overdosing him. After a bit of violent convulsing, Sasuke's lifeless form hits the forest floor. and Orochimaru dams his easily excited bloodlust and begins trying to do what he can in order to save the boy, or at least extract those eyes should things go too bad, forming a clone that cuts his own power and dissipating it to update the whole. This really leaves just one Orochimaru, the one with Hinata, and upon receiving the memories of his doppelgangers, he adopts a faux-abashed expression, stating that it seems he has killed her teammates and so now must depart. The banality of this declaration stuns Hinata so much that she cannot even move when the snake Sannin turns to leave, though she does not fail to catch his parting words, those being the password to pass this stage of the exam, and in an airy offer that if ever she wants true power to attain her goals, he'd be more than willing to give her a taste in exchange for the Byakugan, as a consolation. Truthfully, Hinata does not know why he would tell her that. Perhaps it's some perverse apology for his actions, or more likely, another mind game to suggest that he has infiltrated the village's upper echelon, just as he has this exam. Though in that moment, she does not care. All that matters is finding the boys, and proving that Orochimaru was lying about killing them. Everything is cold. But in a way, this is good, as it tells Sasuke something very important. He can feel, and if he can still feel, then perhaps he is not dead after all. Opening his eyes, he finds himself in pitch darkness, though he thinks he can see something large approaching him. A good sign, as this means he can also see. Forcing sound through his coppery mouth, Sasuke calls out to this massive something, demanding to know what it is and where he is. And to his slight surprise, he gets an answer. In an otherworldly voice, the figure announces itself as the Shinigami, or Death God, drawing near enough now that Sasuke can not only see it, but smell it, catching a faint whiff of wisteria blossoms from his cloak. Having ascertained that he does in fact have all his senses, the young Uchiha moves on to his next question, for some reason having no trouble with his shyness. What does it want with him? A question which earns him something like a laugh as the Death God informs him that he is dead, and so he has obviously come to usher him to the next life. Furiously, Sasuke protests that he can't go with it. He still has to kill his brother and avenge his clan. But this just elicits another of those laugh-like sounds, as the Shinigami wryly replies that the boy is running from one Shinigami so he may slay another one. For the one known as Itachi Uchiha became like a god of death in his own right the night he massacred his brethren. Thinking fast, Sasuke suggests that the Shinigami must not like the idea of humans taking its role, so perhaps in Itachi they have somewhat of a common enemy. This intrigues the deity, who asks what Sasuke is suggesting, and without fear or hesitancy, Sasuke requests that he be allowed to return to life temporarily, so that he may finish his mission. Then the Death God can have both his and Itachi's bloodstained souls for its own. After a moment of pondering that seems to last a lifetime, the kami agrees, and it is only now that Sasuke shrewdly reveals the catch to his deal, that he will require at least a portion of the Shinigami's soul and power to assist and ordain him so that he may see his vengeance done. Letting out a hiss, the deity calls Sasuke a bold one indeed to make demands of a god, but with one more of those pseudo-laughs, accepts his terms, vowing that it will assist him for now, though with the assurance that once the deed is done, it will collect what is owed. The next thing Sasuke knows, he is seeing the world in slow motion, as a thumb, index, and middle finger extend towards his eyes. However, in this strange state, he no longer feels the effects of the poison, nor is Orochimaru as strong as he was before, so he simply rolls to the side, to Orochimaru's clone simply appearing to have disappeared, just like that, leaving only the scent of wisteria blossoms. While just as deadly calm, as if guided by the hand of the Shinigami, Sasuke walks past the Sannin, unsheathing the white light blade and resolutely swinging it only once. In real time, the clone's vision would simply flip 180 degrees, as its head fell from its shoulders just for dissipation. Resealing its blade, Sasuke quietly thanks the Death God for this second chance, but as his power recedes to the underworld, the Uchiha realizes the power of death isn't going to help him truly heal, and so he stumbles, damning his lack of luck as he passes back out while Orochimaru is updated on this seeming impossibility. Somewhat shaken, as there is no possible way the curse mark could do that, meaning a new power had been placed onto the board. However, seemingly not long later, Sasuke finds himself no longer in the shadowy realm of the Shinigami of forced death, but instead in a soft bed surrounded by pale walls and darkened by a thunderstorm raging outside the window. Taking a second to catch his bearings, he recognizes his surroundings as the Leaf Hospital, as well as the people by his bedside, as Kakashi, Hinata, and Naruto. After expressing their relief at seeing him alright, the others explain what happened, with Naruto saying that he not only found Sasuke's body, but successfully administered his first aid and even used the mystic palm correctly to stabilize him. Then after reuniting with Hinata, she used the password to get them out of there. It is therefore a happy atmosphere that fills the ward, as they celebrate making it to the second round. There was a slight, almost imperceptible edge, as each getting clutches tight to the secret of what they received after their confrontation with Orochimaru. For a moment, Kakashi has to rub his eyes, as when a crack of lightning bathes the room in light, his student shadows make his blood run cold. Following this, Sasuke is kept under observation for the rest of the night. But when it becomes clear that he had made a seemingly miraculous recovery, he is discharged in the morning, just in time for the second round of the exam. For this test, the remaining Genin are randomly assigned into teams of 3 and escorted into various academy classrooms, with a simple instruction: walk out the door with a headband belonging to one of the others in order to pass. However, as is always the way in the shogi world, there is a catch. One of the three in each room has been instructed to do all they can to ensure the other two do not pass, and if the other two can figure out who that is and incapacitate them, then they can both pass without needing to steal 2 headbands. Finally, as an added incentive to avoid lethal solutions and sound strategy, the winning traders or allies shall receive an advantage heading into the 3rd and 4th rounds. This element of mind games particularly frazzles Naruto, who is sorted into a room with his former classmate Sakura Haruno and a boy named Kabuto. At first, Naruto suspects Kabuto, since he doesn't know the guy and gets a bad vibe from him, but then he realizes that maybe the proctors knew he'd think that, so really the traitor is Sakura. Or maybe they knew he'd know what they know, so actually Kabuto. But then again, if they know that he knows what they know, then they know— screw it, this is too confusing. He's just gonna punch Four Eyes and take his headband. Baring his teeth, the dead last demon throws himself at Kabuto, who looks shocked as he skids across the floor with a bruised cheek, asking if this means Naruto's the traitor. Angrily, Naruto declares he's not gonna fall for this trick, always having good instincts about these sort of things, so he knows that he's the traitor, causing Kabuto to reason that if neither of them are the traitor, then it has to be Sakura. Turning red-slitted eyes on the girl, Naruto's somewhat embarrassed asks if that's true, and with a scared cringe, Sakura says that it is, taking off her headband and imploring him to take it and not hurt her. Grinning she should have chickened out in the first place, since it's not like he wanted to mess up her pretty face anyway, Naruto takes the forehead protector and strolls out the door, smirking that this is way too easy. However, his good mood is spoiled when Sakura replies that he took the words right out of her mouth, as she also emerges holding a headband. A moment later, Kabuto exits, saying that it looks like he's lost this round, not realizing a traitor and ally could win together, since with Naruto and Sakura having taken each other's, there's no forehead protector left for him. Looking dumbfounded for a second, Naruto asks what Four Eyes means, until suddenly a horrible thought crosses his mind, and he frantically reaches for his own headband, only to find it gone. Giving the blonde boy a devilish wink, Sakura explains that she let him take her headband so she could get close enough to put him under a physically activated genjutsu, making him think his forehead protector was still in place while she snagged it. Naruto growls that this was a dirty trick, as she could never do that in a straight-up fight, but Sakura retorts that she just used what Kurenai-sensei taught her, and besides, it was easy, since the weak-minded are especially susceptible to genjutsu. She then pokes her tongue out at Naruto, claiming that while he's become a tiny bit cooler than he was in their academy days, he's still too much of a meathead for her liking, causing him to, as expected, begin to curse her out, having long since grown out of any crushes towards Hinata's self-proclaimed rival in all things nerd. As Kabuto exits past Uncle Mitarashi to rendezvous with his lord, and update him that the Uzumaki brat didn't croak as well, and had a mean haymaker. Greeting the two passing Genin, Uncle congratulates them for making it this far, stating that as they both technically won as a traitor and ally pair, they have to take Naruto's side of the round 3 advantage, causing Sakura to question what she means, and Uncle to elaborate, hereby declaring the duo Team Uzumaki, at least going into round 3. As from here on out, they'd be testing the potential Chunin's combat and leadership prowess, the goal of round 3 being to battle and defeat another pair of Genin, snagging one of their teammates to move on to round 4. Thus, if a traitor beats round 2, their advantage is to pick between their defeated allies to make their pair, while the winning allies have the advantage of choosing their first opponents. As Sakura smirks at the extremely intricate tournament system, she prepares to put it in language Naruto can understand, only for the boy to confidently and completely break it down himself, recognizing his mission is to form a team of lesser badasses to prop himself up as king badass, and then just whoop everyone in their way. Encouraging the blonde delinquent has it, Uncle sends them on their way, where they see only a few other pairs having assembled, neither seeing any of their teammates, though there are people of interest. Namely, a shorter redhead about their age, standing next to an older rain ninja keeping a healthy distance between the two. However, as their eyes meet, Naruto feels something like gravity pulling them together, and so excitedly moves forward, with a distinct need to fight this run, despite Sakura's protest that they should wait for more familiar companions. Hearing her as she approaches, Gaara laments the baggage this trivial game puts on him, Naruto concurring he'd much rather one-on-one scraps, but was willing to make do lugging around some support, especially if it meant he'd get to fight some more demons like him. However, before a proctor can approach to confirm this quickly made matchup, the door is open once again. The next entrants are both familiar and loud, as Rock Lee, having heard the explanation of these rounds, is fired up to take advantage of their particular setup towards individual performance, and seeing Naruto can think of no better test, and thus eagerly attempts to dynamic entry him as his usual greeting, only for the kick to this time be easily caught by Naruto and repelled, as his teammate, a clown ninja carrying a sword, joins him while fretting over meaningless hypotheticals. Apologizing to Gaara, Naruto orders the runt to be patient for their match, and to just make sure he makes it around 4, since this one here's been a long time coming. And so, Tokubetsu Jonin Hayate sets up the match between Team Uzumaki and Team Omoi, watching warily as Gaara slinks off with his partner to watch the proceedings in the rafters, which Naruto only now realizes is filled with their Jonin sensei, all watching fairly quietly. though he has little mind to pay to that, as he finally gets the match of his dreams with his role model. However, recognizing the point of this challenge and that his teammate and Lee's may not be so keen on letting them duke it out, at least at the expense of their potential promotions, he channels his own sensei, placing a hand gently atop Sakura's head and urging her to lean in so he can negotiate a strategy with the pinkette. Something she is surprised and embarrassed by, seeing as this more physically inclined delinquent Naruto was nearly as tall as her. And just surprising, his scheme was a far more devious one than she could expect from him, one she could get on board with. Happily slapping her partner away and telling him to get on with his selfish grudge match while she handles the Cloud Shinobi, all while putting on her usual air of haughtiness, making Naruto rub his face and grin at Lee as he pulls on Red Chakra with perfect control, declaring he'll flatten him if he holds back, with his fellow Leaf Shinobi adopting the same manic expression, as if he would ever, instantly lunging into the fray by discarding his weights, without Guy Sensei's order, mind you, causing the Jonin to quietly grimace as he stood next to Kakashi in the rafters, both needing this match to go well. As a result, Lee's next dynamic entry is actually able to send Naruto flying back a good bit. But with the dead last technique, the damage is superficial, and Naruto easily counters by slinging Lee away by his leg, and chasing after him by forming clones to throw himself, with the duo engaging in a battle at a speed that doesn't require them to really touch the ground much, clearly enjoying it by the sounds of their praise and admiration towards each other's strength. However, Omori, while running through more hypotheticals and surprised by the strength of the kid he thought slow on the uptake during the trader game, is suddenly assaulted by kunai and shuriken from behind as Sakura begins to press him, quickly finding his sword is not for show and his affinity for genjutsu is far stronger than Naruto's, so she actually has to work to get him into and kept under genjutsu for long enough to get an advantage of her own, as he presses his in attack potency. Meanwhile, after clashing and skidding to a halt far apart, Lee praises Naruto for being just as resilient as he thought, opening his first gate and disappearing from sight for a moment only to end up burying him into the stone floor up to his waist with the primary lotus. Again, their battle being so spectacular as to distract from the battle of Sakura and Omori as the room shakes a tiny bit. Just as it appears Naruto is going limp, the red chakra around the limp boy's body glows an eerie strange green. Before just as good as new, the chakra around him turns to red again, and he spins at high speed, tunneling through the ground like a drill and snatching up Lee in a bear hug from below, as he steals his technique by trying to slam him into the ceiling, only for Lee's power to again rise along with his body temperature, as his face burns red hot, and he's easily able to break the Jinchuriki's hold and outspeed him in the air once again. His early acrobatics now seeming childish, as he ends the assault with a kick bearing so much friction and force it causes Naruto's flesh to burn at the power, leaving him only to be smashed and buried into the stone floor once again, while Lee announces his leaf-hot wind attack. There is silence from many as during this match, more teams have advanced, among them Hinata and Sasuke's, who stare on unbelievingly at the powerful hit their tanky teammate just endured, as Kakashi has never been that rough with them, nor had the seemingly stronger Orochimaru. But as if on cue, boisterous laughter and sinister chakra erupt from the hole right before a massive furry claw reaches out. But this is where we'll be leaving this story off for right now. That is going to do it for Act 2. I know it's a little shorter than Act 1, which isn't how you'd usually expect to structure something like this, but I actually ended up tweaking this arc a little bit unexpectedly and ended up liking this route a lot more, as I for real think it's set to be one of my favorite alternate takes on the exam arc. So next time, we'll wrap it all up in a really cool and special way, and we'll also see if Orochimaru is intrigued enough by the survival of Naruto and Sasuke to hold off on the Leaf Crush plan. Until then, thanks for watching, and shout out to the supporters of the channel who got to see this early, and please consider joining the ranks so you can help out the channel and do the same. Dominique, Pizza15X, Aaron Winters, Normandy1998, Xiaopai, Coder SV3, Ronin Charizard, Daniel Smith, Drax, Dylan Wolfdog31, Infernate Beast 326, Jay Ray, Johnny, Narku, Omar Cousin, Snow Slash Memes and More, Stephen Norton, Taryn, The Shadows, Vegeta What Ifs, Alamancer, B, Blood Down, Lyman Rogers, Omar Muhammad, Aiko, Tay, Inebriated, John Sullivan, Trent Rouse, Dark Shadows, Pokemon Trainer Cam, River Joy, Elijah Edwards, Mr. Hamtastic, Jesus is King, Half an Onion, Angel Gonzalez, David Spalding, Lil T910, Flyer B, Joseph Lau, Blaze 9526, Trainer Rad 164, Luca Reynolds, Baron Stormblade, Panda Walk 301, Ono, Chris Macariano, Lily, Simroth, Red Violet, DeAndre, Gerald Smith, Luxu, John Self, Jacob Whitker, Massive Oak Woodtree, Demon Set, True Trey, Dutch McGee 101, Bruce Boswick, and Robert Ostergaard. Thank you guys for all your support. Let me know what you think of the story so far, and be sure to take care of yourselves and the world around you. And as always, go beyond plus ultra, and I'll see you guys next time.